Another Air Manager instrument showcase. This time it's a Garmin GI106. What you can see in front of you here on this video is three instruments. The one on the left is the existing GI106 that's in the online instrument repository. But I found a few issues with this particular instrument, so I've modified it to be much closer to the real-world instrument with my enhancements. So what you see in the middle and on the right are the two variants of the GI106. It actually comes in two different types. There was an earlier model called the GI106A and a later model, the GI106B. They are subtly different. So the main differences here is you can see the original instrument on the left here. There is no glide slope flag. I believe there actually is one, but the logic behind it is not correct. You can see here now we're obviously tuned to a nav source that is not valid, so all the flags are in here on the A variant, and on the B variant it doesn't use these actual flags. It just puts the needles out of view, so it shows no deviation at all. So on the real instrument, this outer ring here is more pronounced to the front, and this area here is a little bit recessed to the back, and there's a little gap all the way around the edge here, and the needles actually just slide into that gap. So they're slightly ahead of the background, but slightly behind this ring, so they're hiding sort of one here and one there, and then they come down into view as and when there's a valid source. So that's the flags, and the other little thing to note on the flags is if I just toggle between something that is valid, let's just do that in the sim. So you may not be able to see that very quickly, but if you just compare the original one and the A in the middle there, you watch the flag. The flag comes on instantly on the original instrument, and on the modified one it's now animated, so the flag will just pop up and then retract down with a kind of animation, whereas on the original instrument they will just turn instantly on and off. So I'll just toggle that a couple of times for you so you can just a nice little animation there. And the glide slope one does the same when there's a valid glide slope tuned for a localizer. The other thing to note is, of course, you probably can see that the surrounds are a little different. This is only because this was more in keeping with the instrument panel that I wanted to put it in, but as you can see here, you can turn the surround off. I guess you could just replace the surround image with something like this or some other surround. I could possibly give a choice of surrounds even, something maybe to think about for another enhancement. That could also apply to a few of the other instruments, so in terms of choosing the surround, but it's fairly easy just to replace the image for that, for whatever surround was needed. And then I guess the last point really to note in terms of things that have been fixed, you can see here on the original instrument, when I toggle between nav and GPS, the original instrument doesn't actually change. It just just stays on nav. Whereas now you can see on these enhanced ones we do toggle between GPS and VLOC. Now they're VLOC simply because you can choose that now. There's a user property, and the user properties from the original one have been retained, so you can choose between nav1 or nav2 in terms of the source that's driving the CDI. But additionally, you can also now choose, as well as the hide in the surround, which I added, you can also choose between whether or not you want the nav annunciator to be VLOC or nav. So on the middle one now, I'm going to change that to nav, and you'll just see that very quickly. So now you can see that that is nav now instead of the VLOC. So you get a choice. So it's either or. So in the real world, there's actually 3 connections to this instrument, and depending on your installation, if you want it to say nav, you wire to the nav input, or if you wanted to say VLOC, you wire to the VLOC. So it wouldn't be both, it'd be one or the other. And you can see on the A variant, it's this amber color, which is true to the real instrument, not this green, and white on the B model, and then green both for GPS. So yeah, on a Garmin GPS type installation, they tend to refer to it as VLOC. And so you can choose the VLOC option in the user properties, display that, you know, for a interface into a GNS or a GTN Garmin all-in-one navigator. So that's about it, really. Not much more to say than that. It was a very nice instrument in the first place, but a few little things that were just letting it down, and so I've just updated those up and give the option of the A or the B model. Thanks for watching. Hopefully there'll be some more videos to come soon. Cheers. Bye.